So it's
Tonight
what am I
on this
bringing,
social
what am I
league.
contributing to society, what am I contributing to other people's lives. So I'm actually currently still busy writing my next 2 books.
Yeah.
It's always the self-doubt.
Yeah.
That's where it usually starts, and you have writer's block. So when it comes to self-doubt, is like what people really read it. Are people interested? I know as Namibians we don't read a lot.
Yeah.
So feedback I got was overwhelming because it helped so many people deal with their own issues, knowing that okay, they were not alone. It was like, as I said, we are interconnected.
Yeah.
So it helped other people. So when I decided,
Anyways, all right. So tell us about the books you've written. So I've read a little bit of Painfully Beautiful. I've not really finished it, but I have read a little bit of it, and I was like, oh my God, she's actually sharing her story within these books, and
this
there's
is my journey. It becomes a
collective journey. Wow, Leana. What is it that you mainly use?
Okay, so I have my own style of writing. I wouldn't say
Oh, yes. Like every writer would say, oh my God, I
Yes.
expected that one.
Yes, I used to read a lot of books, so I would also write short stories. It's
Yeah.
actually started with short stories.
Yeah. Good day, viewers, and welcome to yet another fun-filled and exciting episode of your favorite show, The Social League. I go by the name of Hancho Kapofi, and I will be the moderator for today's discussion. Now, today we will of course be having a conversation with an author. So, if I were you, I wouldn't go far. So, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Right, as mentioned earlier, today we're of course having a conversation with an author. I'm seated with Leana Daniels, who already has 2 books on her name at such a young age. Hi, Leana. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Junior, and thank you for having me.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so to kickstart today's conversation, tell us a little bit about when you actually started writing.
So I actually started writing in primary school. It has always been a thing of mine. I loved reading, so
Yeah.
writing became a natural way of also trying to escape reality and venting and just
Yeah.
being creative. So yes.
So you started writing at primary school already.
Yes.
So tell us about those things that you'd write in primary school. Was it like stories or what was it?
Yes, I used to read a lot of books, so I would also write short stories. It's
Yeah.
actually started with short stories.
Yeah.
But as I grew, I started getting into poetry. I started loving the flow of poetry.
Ooh.
Yes, after I started reading Maya Angelou. I know I was too young to read Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
So I started writing poetry and short stories and articles, and it just kept going. So
Wow,
Yes.
wow, love that. So this is something that you've already started while you were young. All right, so what exactly are your favorite things about writing? Because now you've mentioned that you are also a poet. So what style of writing is it that you mainly use?
Okay, so I have my own style of writing. I wouldn't say
Oh, yes. Like every writer would say, oh my God, I
Yes.
expected that one.
Definitely. So I have my own style of writing. However, when it comes with poetry and articles, there are certain things you all conform to because of how it came from the ages.
Yeah.
But for me, I would say when I write articles, I like to write how I feel and how I feel it should flow at that moment. The same way goes with my poetry.
Yeah.
I would write it how I want it to flow or how it comes on to the book and paper, and
Yeah.
that's basically how it flows.
Ooh, how it flows. You know,
Yes.
how I wish I could just sit down and say, think it, write it, and all that. So what exactly inspired the writing journey? Because as much as you loved it, there must have been that one inspiration that has sent you to just, because for example, when you love something, you'll sit down and be like, okay, I love this and stuff. But then there's always that one thing that kickstarts the whole journey. So what is that inspiration that, you know what, I'm going to start writing these books today?
Okay. Except for me being passionate about it, I would say the escape from reality and just being able to put down your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your reality, or how you want to perceive things.
Yeah.
I think that is what constantly inspires me.
Yeah.
And also because I do therapeutic writing.
Yeah.
That to me is one of my biggest inspiration, to know that, okay, as I'm writing this, a part of me is healing, or I'm shedding a part of me, or I'm placing a part of me out there, as vulnerable as it is, for the next person. And when that person reads it, we connect. And that's what I've seen through my writings. I've connected with so many people, because as people we are interconnected. And that to me is, it's not just my journey, it becomes a collective journey.
Wow. Leana. Leana Daniels from Namibia. But anyways, all right. So tell us about the books you've written. So I've read a little bit of Painfully Beautiful. I've not really finished it, but I have read a little bit of it, and I was like, oh my God, she's actually sharing her story within these books, and there's a lot to pick up when you actually read the books. So tell us about that.
So Painfully Beautiful was actually the first book, and some of the poems come from when I was writing in primary school, high school. Yes. So, and some of the poems were new poems that I wrote while I decided to then, compile the poems for Painfully Beautiful. Some poems were new, others were old poems. So it's a collective of the journey and also experiences. And it's not just my experiences, it's experiences of the individuals around me, of the community that I grew up in. Those experiences helped me write. And I decided, okay, let me compile this book, because a friend of mine was like, no, you need to release a book.
You need to do something. You can't just have all this. Because honestly, even if you were my child, Leana, and I saw my child is writing all these poems and always giving it like, Mom, here's a poem, I wrote this. We can scrape and set it in a book and put it in a book.
Exactly. So so a friend of mine actually inspired me to just, he's like, do it, write the book, let's do it. And after I released that book, the feedback I got was overwhelming, because it helped so many people deal with their own issues, knowing that, okay, they were not alone. It was like, as I said, we are interconnected. So it helped other people. So when I decided, okay, I'm going to release my second book, which was Shattered and Surviving, it was just a continuation from Painfully Beautiful. Because in life, you never end until you die. So it's just a continuation. It's like ellipses.
Shattered and Surviving.
Yes.
It's the name for me, honestly. But please do stay tuned, because after the break, we touch a little bit into the challenges and the successes that she has faced as a poet and author. And then we also find out what is next for Leana Daniels. Right, if you are just joining us, you're of course watching The Social League, and today we are having a conversation with an author. Right before the break, we of course found out from Leana Daniels about how she started writing, a little bit about Painfully Beautiful and Shattered Surviving, and how these books are a continuation. Love, love, love to hear that. All right, so Leana, tell us a little bit about the challenges that you have faced as a Namibian writer. And I say Namibian creative as well, because if you're a creative, if you're a writer, you're of course a creative, because you need that creative mind to do so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the challenges I faced. Okay, let me start with myself. It's always the self-doubt.
Yeah.
That's where it usually starts, and you have writer's block. So when it comes to self-doubt, is like, will people really read it? Are people interested? I know as Namibians we don't read a lot.
Yeah.
So it's always those thoughts, and it's is my writing gonna be able to inspire other people? Will other people really also want to write? How would I help? And as a creative in Namibia, we don't have a lot of platforms to share our work.
True.
Apart from now social media at least helping us and fellow creators, but just having that platform to continuously share what you write and how you write and the process. I think that I would say that is the challenge. Apart from that, it's the opportunities as creatives that we create for each other. That's the beautiful part when you have that. Let's say I have a writer's block and I can't write.
Yeah.
Or it's just my mind goes blank, or it's like too many thoughts at once.
Yeah.
Is when that next person tells you like, no, it's okay, you got it. Take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time, or maybe try this. Or it's that support that makes you pull through those challenges.
Yeah,
So, yes.
amazing. All right, so now tell us about the successes apart from releasing 2 books.
Yes.
Apart from releasing 2 books, what are those successes that you have faced as a writer?
The successes usually is the lives that I touch.
Yeah.
That to me, like no amount of money or amount of books that I sell will be able to top that, because it's when people come to me and say, oh, I read your book, and it helped me like this, or this is how I connected, and your book did this in my life. To me, that is my greatest success.
Yeah.
Like, whether I sell 50 books or 100 books, or I become a bestseller, it's that story and that feedback that is to me successful, that is telling me like, okay, I can continue doing what I'm doing because I'm touching lives. I'm helping the next person, and I'm inspiring. So, yes, I aspire to inspire.
Love, love, love to hear that. So I can definitely tell that you are one of those writers that are trying to send across a message, and you're trying to share your story in order for you to inspire others and show others that, you know what, there is hope, you know. All you need to do is find it, you know. It's all that. So I want to find out from you now, what more can we expect from Leana? Because I'm sure Leana Daniels has something up her sleeve. What more can we expect from her?
So much. So much, because I look at my life not just in phases, but in a collective way.
Yeah.
So it's, what am I bringing? What am I contributing to society? What am I contributing to other people's lives? So I'm actually currently still busy writing my next 2 books at the same time. So sometimes it takes a bit of a shift, like, okay, focus on this one, don't focus on this one. So it's that, but more books, more platforms, also trying to create a mentorship platform for other creators. And how do you mentor upcoming creators? How do I instill to kids that are still in school? How do I also inspire them to start writing or start reading? So it's actually a lot that I am still planning on.
Wow, Leana, love to hear that. And I think it's great that you would love to start a mentorship program to help aspiring writers, because that was my follow-up question. What advice would you then have for someone that aspires to be a writer, someone that would like to start writing their own books, you know? For example, I don't know if I'm really that one person that is going to sit down and write a book as much as I spend most of my time writing articles. I'm not sure if I'm really that one person who will sit down and write a book, but maybe there is something that you say that will maybe make me be, okay, you know what, let me sit down and do this.
My advice would be just start.
Mm.
Anywhere, anytime, when you want to. Just start. You know, pick up the pen or take out your phone or your tablet or your laptop and just start writing. Whatever is on your mind,
Yeah.
whatever is on your heart, however you feel, just start somewhere. It's the start. Usually that's keeping us back. So when you start and you see, okay, I placed this out there,
Yeah.
it's gonna continue inspiring you because you have to start somewhere. And also to realize that when you start, you're gonna doubt yourself,
Yeah.
and that is okay. Because that when you have fear, it's not about staying in that fear, it's about pushing through the fear.
Yeah.
So just start.
Push through the fear.
Yes.
Push through the false evidence appearing real.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
All right. So, finally, before I let you go, before I also let you say your final comments, where can our viewers find your books?
So they can contact me directly. Shredded and Surviving is also available at exclusive bookstores, and they can also get it online on Amazon.
Yes, on Amazon. Oh my
Yes.
God, on Amazon. On Amazon, you
Yes.
can get yourself a book on Amazon from a Namibian writer.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Leana, any final comments before I let you go?
Final comments would be, let's create a platform and let's read, let's write. We all have the capabilities, we all
Yeah.
have the potentials. It's about what you want to do with your passion. I know for me, reading, writing is a passion of mine, and I'm thankful that I'm able to share that, but we never know how the next person's writing could inspire me. So let's do it. Work at it.
Amazing. Amazing. Let's do it. Just start. Those are two phrases that I'm not going to let go of
Yes.
from what Leana said. So, if there's one thing that I learned from a conversation with an author today is that your journey as a writer starts when you pick up that pen and start writing. And you can always just sit and compile everything. You know, it's okay to doubt yourself in the beginning. If you feel like, oh my God, this is not for me, all those feelings are valid and it's very much okay to feel that way. But how you pick up from there and kick off is all up to you. That was all we had for you today on The Social League with a conversation with an author. From me, Hanshika Porfi, it is, of course, goodbye.